Tô transmitindo, cara.
Got nothing there, just too much of the ball. Rafinha. Ball looking there for Lamin. Really easy, well, half easy for a moment or two. Barcelona keep the pressure on. So Simeone there trying to encourage his players. Atletico spent more money than any club in Spain this summer, buying Julian Alvarez, Sorloth, Lenormand. Pretty big money signings. Brings down Barrios.
Hey, sai daí.
7,000 fans in the Metropolitano all screaming unison for a yellow card. Not really playing the ball, but it's not the worst foul I think you'll see. Renildo. Back to the normal. Jimenez. And Musso. Sends it long. Griezmann waiting. Henry recovers well played. Defended by Kouassi as well. And he goes back to Chesney. Talks that he's, believe it, he came out of retirement to sign for Barca, and now it looks like he's going to sign for another season. Interesting to see what happens when Ter Stegen is fully fit, though. He's getting close to a return, is Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, after his knee operation. Guy who looks as if he's going to be on the way out of Barca is the current reserve keeper, Iñaki Peña. Talk of him going to maybe Celta Vigo. City's met with arguably one of the best qualities of life, Vigo. Rafinha. Not giving Rafinha much space, are they, between Azpilicueta and Llorente? A little loose pass gives Barca the ball. Once again, Pedri. Once again, Rafinha to Lamine Yamal. Threads the ball through, and that is the opening goal. Well, there was a bit of surprise when Ferran Torres was included ahead of Lewandowski. I think it's fair to say with that, he has repaid his coach's confidence. 1-0 to Barca on the night, 5-4 on aggregate. And Ferran Torres opens the scoring. We're just having a quick look to see if there's an offside. There isn't. Great pass from Lamine.
And the first time finish. Excellent goal. They're trying to close down the gaps. They're trying to close the spaces. So precise was that pass. Threading the eye of a needle, and Ferran Torres, instinctive finish, 1-0. He's nicknamed the Shark. And he's sunk his teeth. Sorry, he's sunk his teeth into Atletico. 1-0 to Barca. But let's just remind you, the last two meetings between these sides in the league and the cup have produced 14 goals. In the last two, Atletico were 2-0 up. In the cup first leg, Barca were 4-2 up, and it ended 4-4. Every meeting between the two teams this season, league in Barcelona, cup in Barcelona, league here, every meeting has so far produced an injury time goal. There is a long way to go as Pedri ruefully picks himself up. Lamine Yamal in quickly. That's good work. Julian Alvarez looks to advance. Simeone opens a little bit of space up for him, but that's good work from, once again, Fermin, who is a bit of a dynamo, Fermin Lopez. That's why he's included today. It's back with Lamine Yamal. Still Lamine Yamal. Still Lamine. And they should have cleared it. Rafinha. Lamine mishits it. Goodness gracious me. Well, that could so easily have been 2-0. Once again, Lamine Yamal's pace takes him past 1-2 challenges. It was Pedri with the back heel. Good block from Jimenez. And there Lamine just snatches at it, tries to side foot it when maybe he'd have been better off just trying to hit it. Thing about that, he doesn't quite get the back heel right there, Pedri, but he knows that Rafinha's there. Atletico on thin ice at the moment, but we've seen Simeone's team come back in the first leg. They came back from a goal down to win 2-1 in the Camp Nou in the league just before Christmas. And the thing is, so far they've been a little bit on factory settings, Simeone-style defensive, tight at the back. Now they're going to have to open up and play a little bit more. And when they play, they can really play. At the moment, though, Barca not really giving them many options. Lamine Yamal once again. 3 players on top of him. He went down. Referee shows a third yellow card to Reinildo. I can see why he's first view without a replay. I'm not sure there was a lot of contact there between Reinildo and Lamine when he went down. The replay might clear it up a wee bit. Nah, he just catches his right leg, doesn't he? I don't know if he hits it quite hard enough, but it's the protest, I think, that's earned him the booking. 3 yellow cards for Atletico: Reinildo, De Paul, and Azpilicueta. Pedri and Rafinha standing over the ball. Rafinha goes for goal, takes a little touch, and corner. And Lewandowski, well, I'm pretty sure he'll be starting against Betis, and then who knows, against Borussia Dortmund, one of his former clubs. Bit of manhandling in the penalty area. Standing off Balde. Hits it hard, hits it high. Goal kick. I think it's there. Balde was about 30. The Atletico players were deeper. Good battling. And Julian Alvarez has gone down. Pedri saying, I haven't done anything. Once again, the fans asking for a card. Nancy Flick finds it amusing. Let's have a look. Just steps on his toe. I don't know if it, and then you see Pedri's gesture there is to apologise straight away, like, whoops, sorry. Anyhow, free kick for Atletico. Griezmann, that's a good delivery from Griezmann, and Lenormand from distance. Got a lot of power on that. Couldn't keep his header down. That's quick thinking from Chesney. Looks for Lamine Yamal, and Barrios just gets enough of his locks on it to take it away and out for a throw-in. Pedri, Lamine. Referee's booked Frenkie de Jong there for a late challenge. By the way, if it comes to sort of sanctions for the final, all bookings were wiped after the quarter, so to miss the final, you'd have to pick up 2 bookings in the semi-finals or a direct red card. Rodrigo de Paul in trouble now. De Jong saying, hardly missed it. Well, there's the Spain coach, Luis de la Fuente, in the middle there. To be fair, he just put a full set of, I think it's one of those things, it's just the pace of the action, but he does put a full set of studs across the top of his foot, which will hurt. The word metatarsal springs to mind, but looks as if the Paul's going to be okay. So Frenkie de Jong becomes the 4th player booked tonight. Back it goes to Musso. And allowed Barcelona to bring their pressure forward again. And the defence is parked on the halfway line. Chance now for Griezmann, however. Except it just runs away and out for a goal kick. Sorry, a throw-in. Let's another look at the goal. First time pass there from Lamine. One-touch pass. And a great finish from Ferran Torres. That's his 5th goal in the Cup this season. Game just lost a little bit of rhythm over the last few minutes, hasn't it, with a couple of stoppages. I don't think Athletic will be upset about that. There's Rafinha. Not seen very much of Rafinha so far today. As I say, he's forced 2 yellow cards. Might be why we haven't seen much of him, because he's taking a little bit of stick. Pedri. Once again, Lamine. Goes back to his partner on that right touch line, Jules Koundé. De Jong. Got to be a little bit careful, obviously, De Jong as well in the holding role. No Mark Casado to come on to replace him if needed. He's basically out for the season after suffering an ankle ligament. So still 1-0 on the night, 5-4 on aggregate, but as I say, a lot to be decided still. And despite seeing 4 yellow cards in the game, only 10 fouls so far, just the 4 from Atletico. Pedri wins the ball. And is Lamine Yamal. Griezmann nipping away at him. It's inside to Rafinha. Rafinha! Musso makes the save. Just took it a little wide, did he here, Rafinha? But once again, Barcelona showing their danger on the breaks. Once again, Lamine doesn't have the best of angles, but Musso does well on his near post. Just 5 minutes left of normal time in the half, but I think we'll have a decent chunk of injury time, basically, after that VAR review. A couple of stoppages for injuries. That one for 5 minutes, maybe. Torres. Rafinha just gets it between the defence, but behind. Rafinha to keep that one in. Doesn't really matter, it's with Musso. Again, needs somebody to pass to. Barcelona doing a great job pressing high up the field. So 5 weeks ago in the first leg, they just ran out of steam, and this is their 3rd match in 7 days. He's tried to rotate Hansi Flick, but obviously those magical 70 to 72 hours recovery time. That's a man who's not entirely happy with his world at the moment. Still everything to play for here, though, in the Metropolitano. Koundé wins another challenge against Griezmann. Remember, Atletico have got Alexander Sorloth on the bench, the big Norwegian. Certainly give them a better option if they want to start playing a bit longer in the second half. When I say longer, I mean as in terms of playing longer balls. Lenormand goes through the back there of Ferran Torres, free kick. Making sure he can't turn. Thank you, De Jong. Pedri in support. There is Pedri. Looking once again. Well, thinks about looking for Lamine. Instead, he's taking his time out. He goes to Koundé. Seen that a few times tonight. And it's back with Lamine. Reinildo in front of him. Griezmann trying to provide some extra support. It's good cover. Just didn't have any space this time. Pablo Barrios as well makes that interception. Barca recover the ball with Inigo Martinez. Spilicueta gets in. And the ball has already gone out for a throw-in. De Paul. Lenormand. And Jimenez charged down by Fermin. Ferran. Sorry, and speak of the Sorloth, there he is. Big Norwegian starts warming up. I wonder if we'll see him at the start of the second half or a little bit later. Simeone obviously has the chance to option of switching to a four-man defence and bringing another forward. Could also bring on Noel Molina. Look at it, it is also warming up down there, and Samuel Lino, of course, who would certainly give a bit more pace down this left-hand side. Accidental collision there by the referee's opinion. As Barca play on, and it's once again nice, good pace there from Reinildo, who also goes down. Little handshake there between Fermin. Whoa. And Julio Alvarez. Will have knocked the wind out of him. Referee wants the free kick taken. Nice lean up. Who looks like he might well come on in the second half. This time, Koundé. Penalised for that challenge on Reinildo. Griezmann's taken it quickly. And Chesney just judges it well. Gets it moving quickly as well. We have just 3 minutes injury time. Just the 3 minutes injury time, I think. That's a little bit on the stingy side there from the referee. Well, we had the VAR check. We've had a couple of players needing treatment. De Jong. Fermin. Inigo Martinez. Oof, took a little risk there, De Jong. Loses out though to Barrios. The appeal for handball against Pedri. The referee wasn't cited. I'm not sure if it was or wasn't. And that is a corner for Barca. Don't think the referee was cited on that. Pedri saying it was my chest, Barrios saying it was your arm. Referee saying that's enough. Let's have a look. Well, it hits his arm, but his arm's right by his side. Corner for Barca. Minute and a half of the 3 minutes of injury time gone. Played once again to Lamine. Rafinha curls that one in. And no, it hasn't stayed in. It is another corner. So approaching the end here. Barcelona having nearly all of the ball in the Atletico half. Yeah, that's gone out, hasn't it? Just the one goal, though. Will they rue a couple of those half chances that went begging? Another corner. Not easy to score against Atletico from a corner with Jimenez, Lenormand, Spilicueta taken quickly again. I mean, and Julian Alvarez booked for pulling him back. Fourth Atletico player booked on the night. Pretty clear shirt pull, mind. Fans singing, shouting, fuera, 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 which is basically off, 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 as in get off. Clear foul. So we're just going to go run over slightly over those 3 minutes. And Rafinha prepares to take the free kick. The referee asking for a little bit of calm, but he'll be lucky. Pedri, and once again, Rafinha curls that one in. And just as Lamine is about to shoot, the referee says free kick for Atletico. No, but pretty sure the referee didn't see that. To be brutally honest, neither did I. Giuliano Simeone looked as if he was dragged down as the free kick was taken quickly. Well, he was pushed, wasn't he, by Balde? Well, we're going to end the half on a bit of controversy. It was quick thinking there from Simeone. I'm pretty sure the referee didn't see that. It's all getting a little bit tense, isn't it? That is the half-time whistle, which might not be the worst thing that can happen. All on the verge of boiling over there. A long look from Diego Simeone at Mr. Manuel Montero. Half-time, 1-0 to Barca on the night. That man, Ferran Torres, scoring the goal. We're talking about bookings. It's Atletico 4, Barca 1. Likely to get very tense after the break. We'll be back very shortly to enjoy it.
Vamos lo positivo, dale. Pase lo que pase hasta el final.
Si juegan mal de nuevo, no, tienes que quedarte con razón. Pero intenta ayudar a la
pero ahora estás jugando en
leche.
Puede ser
No me la esperaba, pero no tan fuerte. Vale, chavales, seguimos, Bueno, la primera era calma, dale que estamos bien,
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Metropolitano Stadium for the second half of our Copa del Rey semi-final. And Atlético Madrid, they had to react at half-time, and Diego Simeone has done just that, making 3 changes. Clément Lenglet, Javi Galán and Alejandro Soloff coming into the action, with Reinildo, Azpilicueta, and Giuliano Simeone are the players to come off. So just to remind, Galán, Lenglet and Soloff on. And they have replaced Reinildo, Giuliano and Azpilicueta. So Atletico will switch to a flat back 4. By the looks of things. I'll still play 5 at the back Jimenez still there. Anyhow, Atletico trailing 1-0 on the night, 5-4 on aggregate. They were under the cosh for most of the first half against Barcelona. But they're only a goal behind. There you get the confirmation of the changes. I think something to bear in mind as well is that Reinildo was on a yellow card, as was Azpilicueta. So two of the players who are in danger of perhaps seeing a second yellow. And Mr. Manuel Montero has been a little bit fly with his cards. Well, two of the players in danger of seeing a second yellow are off. They still have Julian Alvarez and Rodrigo de Paul on a booking in the game, whereas Frenkie de Jong is booked for Barcelona. Good start there for the home side, as Griezmann couldn't quite control that, but Soloff certainly gives them different options now in attack. I think we'll see Griezmann dropping a little bit deeper, Soloff and Julian Alvarez maybe playing a little bit further forward. So just to remind you, Atletico won in the league 2-1 in Barcelona. It's 4-4 in the Cup, and Barcelona won 4-2 in the league here. Each one of those games did see goals scored in injury time. Rafinha just loops that one into Juan Muso's arms. And there is Soloff. Soloff has had a happy season against Barca as well. He scored in all three of those games, scored the winner in the league in Montjuic. He scored an injury time equaliser in the first leg of the Cup, and he scored the second goal here, which put Atletico 2-0 up. Here he is now, the big Norwegian. Pulls that one back. Szczesny makes the save. And wouldn't have counted anyhow, as the referee has ruled it out for offside, which is there right at the start of the attack. But straight away, Soloff making a bit of a difference. Griezmann, who just very, very cleverly just hangs back there to work himself a bit of space. So, more aggressive Atletico Madrid, which they need to be. I say, when Atletico actually look to attack their rivals, they're a good attacking outfit. Because obviously Barcelona might now think they're going to find a bit more space on the break. It's only just good news for you as you're watching this. It's over the top there from Lamales with Pedri. Obviously, they don't want to see Pedri have too much space. He finds Rafinha. Llorente down the channel to Griezmann. In quickly there, Fermin on Rodrigo de Paul. Just to remind you, the substitutes Barca have got. They've got Araujo, the right central defender, Gavi, Lewandowski, of course, and Sufati, who's just been basically in exile without seeing a minute of action. Tragic when you think how good he looked as if he was going to be. Pablo Torre, Pau Victor, Eric Garcia, Hector Ford, and Gerard Martin. Atletico could still bring on Conor Gallagher, Koke, Thomas Lemar, Lino, Molina. But they've certainly come out with more bite, more spring in the step. Balde with the throw in to De Jong. I'm not sure if he was expecting that, Frenkie de Jong, and that Llorente in quickly. He asks for a corner and he gets it. Simeone cheering almost as if it's a goal. Undertaking it quickly, Atletico. Rodrigo de Paul, not a great cross, doesn't get past the first man, which is Ferran Torres. And Llorente puts it back to Musso. Galan gets pulled back, referee's played on. Bear in mind that he did book Julian Alvarez for pulling back Lamine Yamal right at the end of the first half when it got a bit feisty out there. Galan does really well. And that's looking for Griezmann. He's got too much on it. Szczesny willing to see that one out for a goal kick. Fans behind Szczesny's goal found their voice. That's careless. A little bit sloppy at the start of this second half, Barcelona. And here is a chance. Soros into the side netting. And there it was. That was 1-1, wasn't it? No offside. Great little ball through from Rodrigo de Paul. He steadies himself. Puts it into the side netting. And Simeone, please, why me? Best chance Atletico have had all game. Had a really hard time with Lamine Yamal in the first leg, Galan. But he does get forward a bit better than Reinildo. Barca just need to get a little bit of control, and here is Rafinha. Lamine Yamal, he was a little bit optimistic, although we have seen him score them. Game completely different now, a lot more open. Spread out now to Llorente, needs a quick touch. Skips past Balde. Llorente, and that's just too close to Wojciech Szczesny. Once again makes a comfortable claim. De Jong, all of a sudden this is end-to-end football as opposed to Barca being camped in Atletico's half. Lamine Yamal skips past Galan, pulls it one back. Ferran Torres once again looks for that back heel. There are better options. Soloff does really well. De Paul moved over slightly more to the right where he's very comfortable. There's Galan pushing forward, looking for Griezmann, and that is corner. Just see Pedri made a little gesture there, just a calm down sort of gesture. Atletico got them rattled. So far, the substitutions for Simeone working. It's another decent corner, but Szczesny, full stretch, gets a punch. Only as far as De Paul. Clip back in, and there! Simon Longley. On loan at Atletico from Barcelona, let's remember. Good cross. It's opened out to Rafinha. Rafinha looks for the near post. Corner for Barca. As Lamine Yamal is down. Just got caught a bit late. And there's Lamine. Let's see when he gets caught. Just between Lenglet and Jimenez. He had the option there to set up Fermin there. It's a late challenge. And now he's back on his feet, Lamin. Decent corner, but in the end it's dealt with comfortably by Jimenez. Pedri sees that one out for a throw-in for Barcelona. 11 minutes in the second half. Change the script. A couple of substitutes for Barcelona ready to come on. It's Araujo and Eric Garcia. Fermin Lopez nearly connects with one. As Lamine Yamal not looking a very happy bunny there at all, is he? After that double whammy from Lenglet and Jimenez. Bad news not just for tonight for Barca, but obviously also for their weekend match against Betis in the Champions League quarter-final first leg against Borussia Dortmund. It's just gone away. Let's see who comes on for Barca. Looks like they're going to make another substitution at the same time as well. It's certainly going to be, I think he's saying he's okay. It's Eric Garcia. I wonder if that's going to be for De Jong. Well, it's another substitution for Atletico. Well, Lenormand's off. And it's Nahuel. So that's a change of system for Simeone. He's going to go to a switch to a flat back four. For Barca, Eric Garcia. He's on for Cubarsí. They did have an ankle problem. And Araujo on for Fermin Lopez. So I reckon that's going to see Araujo go into central defender and Eric Garcia probably into a more of a midfield holding role. So slightly defensive move there from Hansi Flick. I think it's fair to say his side has been rattled in these first 13 minutes of the second half, but Atletico coming out with a totally different attitude. Much more aggressive, trying to play on the front foot rather than wait to see what Barca were doing before the break. Once again, De Paul's cross. Just another, they're just up to gear or two, haven't they, Atletico? And there's Eric Garcia, however. First challenge from Nahuel Molina. And yellow card, fifth yellow card of the night for Atletico. Barcelona just maybe, now it's Barca's turn just to take a little bit of sting out of the play. It's a little bit harsh, the yellow card to me there. Does make contact with the ball, doesn't he? Don't see huge amounts of studs there. So another stoppage. But he's in trouble here, isn't he? He's only just come on, Eric. But there's no Marc Casado, who's out for the rest of the season with ligament damage. I wonder if he's twisted his ankle when he fell. Let's have a look again. Does he just catch him on the top of his right foot? On the top of his right foot where it joins there. He's up on his feet. Inigo Martinez takes it. And Barcelona nearly work a little bit of space. In the end, it's given away by Pedri. Out it goes for an Atletico throw-in. But contrast this with the first half, when the match was played to 80% in the Atletico half. Nearly every Atletico player behind the ball. I think just looking at the change for Araujo for Kovacic, obviously Kovacic did have an ankle problem. He's only just come back from. But I also wonder if they think Araujo will be better equipped to handle Sorlof's physical threat. Both of his back to goal and also from set pieces. Goes back to Musso. Galan keeps it in. Julian Alvarez playing more towards the left now. And Araujo's a long way out of position to make that challenge. A rumble of discontent around the Metropolitano again. Molina. Martinez. De Jong looks to be thread it through, and he finds Jimenez. He's got to be careful, De Jong, remember. And in the end, Galan collects. Just under half an hour to play. Obviously a bit more with injury time. Still 1-0 on the night for Barca. 5-4 on aggregate. The way things stand, we'll be having another Clásico. Barrios down now. Remember Barca winning in the Bernabeu in the league, thumping Real Madrid in the Super Cup. And they've got to play again in the league before the end of the season. In Barcelona, this time it's Barrios, as we say, down. So one thing or another, play. We had about 2 minutes action in the last 6 or 7 minutes. A story in the English papers today that Atletico Madrid were interested in another Argentinian, Enzo Fernandez, who's at Chelsea at the moment, might be willing to offer Barrios in part exchange. Simeone saying down on the touchline, made a little substitution gesture. Want to go anyhow? There we go, and Chesney stays calm once again. Barrios saying to Simeone, now look out and play on. What if Barca think about bringing Gavi on soon? Obviously the combative midfielder. Obviously got Lewandowski as well. It's good work from Barrios. He's fully recovered to dispossess Frenkie de Jong. Inigo Martinez, Eric Garcia. We'll try and get Pedri involved a wee bit more again, Barca. He was pulling the strings in the first half. There's Lamine. Doesn't get past the first challenge, though. Challenges, though, against Julian Alvarez, forcing a throw-in for Atletico. The fans in the Metropolitano, packed to the rafters, 70,000 fans. Bit of a contrast to Montjuic 5 weeks ago when 50,000 capacity ground was only 3/4 full, which was a bit disappointing. I said walking down actually afterwards, vast majority, I'd say majority of the fans were probably tourists. Challenge on Molina. He gives the free kick, but nothing more. A little bit high, Balde's foot. Oh, nice work from Galan. Good defending though from Eric Garcia, but the referee's given a free kick. Might have been for the prior challenge. Back with Galan. Given a little bit more depth to the Atletico down that left wing. The ball. Now it's Barca getting everyone behind the ball. Now Molina. A throw in for Atletico. Griezmann. Play out, says the referee. As Llorente does well to keep that one in. As does the ball back to Jimenez. Spread it to Ling. Being pressured by Lamine Yamal. And Llorente slips inside Rafinha's challenge. There's a chance here as he makes the extra man. Marcos Llorente. In the end, bounces off Balde. Chesney makes the claim. Nobody appeals for a back pass. Good day. Eric Garcia. Good run from Eric Garcia down the touchline. Looking for Ferran Torres, who is levered off the ball. And Atletico looking to play out from the back again. For a fraction of a second, it looked as if Balde had won the ball cleanly, but I think he goes in with his studs in front of him. And he picks up a second booking for Barca alongside De Jong. Second booking for Barca for Balde for that. Julian Alvarez has got Sorloth poaching. I reckon he might have just been offside there. Sorloth, he finishes, and the offside flag is raised. Yeah, he's just offside. Not by much. You don't have to be offside by much. I'm sure we'll have a quick VAR check. Yeah, if Simeone says it's close, then it means it is, basically. It's given away. Pedri. Koundé uses his body intelligently there. Ferran Torres goes down, the referee plays on. Absolutely non-stop here in the Metropolitano this second half. Now Molina curls it in once again, though that offside flag is up against Antoine Griezmann. Once again, I think if that had ended up in the back of the net, the VAR check might have been quite a long one. Minutes left, plus injury time. 0-0. Atletico have been very much on top in these 25 minutes of the second half after Barca dominated the first. Lost a lot of cohesion, Barca. They look a bit nervous. Atletico just look a bit quicker. They look more confident. Flick's going to make another substitution for Barca. It's Lewandowski just getting ready to come on. There's a semi-automatic offside, which I think makes life a little bit easier. Does away with some controversy. I think you can get rid of any controversy, so much the better. Balde, Eric Garcia, given away. That's Llorente. Both Llorente and Galan have given Athletic a lot more projection down the wings, and obviously Sorlo's power and mobility up front has given them an extra outlet. Sorlo's won the ball, but once again on this near side, the offside flag is up against him. Again, De Paul, who's also been everywhere after the break, looks for Molina's run. He's got Balde in pursuit. Julian Alvarez has slipped over to this near side. Great movement from Barrios, Inigo Martinez. De Jong. I think Inigo Martinez played 2 cup finals. Lost them both, once against Real Sociedad and once against Barca. Both within 2 each other from Athletic Club. And Flick still taking his time before introducing Lewandowski. You can just see him down there at the bottom right of your screens. And there's Pedri. Ups a gear, Pedri. To Rafinha. Ferran Torres back to Rafinha, who's just out-muscled by Llorente, who can only, however, concede a throw-in. Not been in his best today, Rafinha. I wonder if those 2 challenges in the first half just knocked a bit of the stuffing out of him. Substitution for Barca. It is indeed Ferran Torres who comes off, scorer of the only goal, somehow the only goal tonight. Verbals there with Simeone. And Lewandowski, 33 goals this season. He's on 97 goals for Barcelona since joining from Bayern Munich. Offside flag is up against Lewandowski for his interaction down on this near side. There's Molina. Tell you what, it's one of these things Atletico still have to equalise, obviously, but if they did equalise, you would maybe fancy them to go on and win this. However, first of all, here's Lamine Yamal. Pedri's there, weaving his way there and back through the Atletico midfield. Gets the ball back from Lamine Yamal, who looks to have recovered from that challenge he received earlier on in this half. Lewandowski. Referee's played on. It's been strange, slightly schizophrenic refereeing performance, I think, today from Montero. Sometimes he's been very quick to pull out a yellow card, and other times he's tried to let the game flow, which is a little bit difficult for the players to then judge. 15 minutes left of normal time. You say yesterday went to extra time. Good ball from Galan there to Griezmann. Looks up. Araujo, well, I think he'd be over happy in conceding a corner there, but he has done. Chance for Atletico. Longley, Jimenez, Sorloth, and Llorente, all threats from set pieces. It's Griezmann to take. Inigo Martinez, who cleared. Back with Barrios. Eric Garcia sticks out a leg. I think he just slips there just before the contact with Inigo Martinez. There, Alvarez, referee's played on. There's Lamine Yamal deep in his own half. He's got Koundé. He comes to off De Jong. Back it goes to Chesney Bassa. The first half, they were looking to thread the ball through. They've not been able to do that this second half. Koundé under pressure. It's against Solo. Third Araujo battling that one out. And in the end, it falls to Eric Garcia. To Lamine. Got Pedri with him. If in doubt, give it to Pedri, I think should be possibly the Barcelona motto. Koundé. Just pressing a lot harder, a lot higher. Barca able to triangle a little bit now. Balde to Rafinha. De Jong. Just keeping possession. Eric Garcia to Koundé, makes the move forward. And Lenglet as well. To concede a corner. Nicely worked move. First move Barca have really been able to cook up in the last few minutes. And obviously they're in no great hurry to take the corner. Lewandowski tries to control. Can't get enough power, and it's with Musso. De Paul. To Molina down that channel where once again Marcos Llorente has put in some kilometres today, hasn't he? Atletico got one last change to bring on. It's Riquelme who's about to come on. Griezmann's got a bit of space now. And once again, Chesney. The thing I would say against Atletico is maybe Chesney hasn't had to make a really difficult save all night. He made one from Griezmann at the start of the second half, but it was offside earlier. If you're bringing on Riquelme, which Atletico are going to do, the number 17, he's more left-sided forward, or winger. It'll be interesting to see how free kick for that challenge on Lewandowski. It looks as if for a moment if Rafinha had given it, had blown it himself. Oh, I guess it right in the coccyx there. And it's Griezmann who comes off. It's just a question of fresh legs. Riquelme. So we're not seeing Samuel Lino. Pedri. Koundé. Skips past that challenge, Lamine Yamal, but the ball just gets away from him. Julian Alvarez. Moved inside, it's moved on. So Riquelme is actually starting up on the right. Rodrigo de Paul, but that's a bit careless. And there's a chance here if Eric Garcia can provide the pass. All that needed is a little better contact from Eric Garcia. Did he just rush it? There's a chance there to set Lamine Yamal clean through on goal. But as it is, 8.5 minutes of normal time left, still 1-0 on the night. Are we in for more late drama as we were last night in the Bernabeu? Barca deep in their own half. Llorente is popping up everywhere. Rodrigo de Paul shone a little bit too much of that one to De Jong, and there Rafinha, first time pass to Lamine Yamal. It's 2 against 2. Rafinha's making up acres of space on the far side, and there, good defending. Atletico live again. There's a decent chance there for Barca to kill the tie. But the suffering has to continue. Riquelme. Inigo Martinez using his experience. Real Sociedad and Athletic Club Bilbao defender. Jimenez all the way back to Musso. Fans don't really like that, but it's with Molina. 38th minute of the second half, still 1-0, but it's been a completely different half. Atletico giving it everything to try and get back into this tie. And misunderstanding at Atletico now have the chance. It's Alvarez to Galan. Oh, great block from Koundé. Still Atletico possession though. Nobody is leaving the seats here. De Paul takes a deflection into the arms of Szczesny. When that new rule about how long goalies can hold on for, to the ball for, comes into effect. It's Pedri. Took a big risk at this time. Very uncharacteristic mistakes creeping in. Inigo Martinez, however, once again, this time he puts it back to Szczesny. He opens it out to Koundé. You can almost feel the tension as a physical force in the ground here at the moment. Atletico win the ball back. Alvarez, he looks up, he's got Riquelme. Here it is, Roman Riquelme. Still Riquelme, a little bit too greedy. But there's brilliant work there. De Paul. Nobody's, it's just not sticking, is it? Riquelme again, can he whip it over? He can, that's a decent delivery, half cleared. There is Rafinha, and all Rafinha can do is I was going to say squeeze it out for a throw-in, but he gets the free kick. Gerard Martin to come on for Lamine Yamal. He doesn't want to leave, but he's going to have to. Gerard is a left back. Just signed a new contract a few weeks ago. Well, I mean, begins a long trudge around the pitch. Not quite sure how they'll work this well. It looks as if they're going to play Gerard as a left back. Looks with Balde in front of him. And Rafinha switching over to the right. 3.5 minutes at normal time. Must be on for at least 5 minutes at the end of the half, although I thought we were on for at least 5 at the end of the first, so who knows? Time is not Atletico's friend at the moment, although I say, if they can sneak an equaliser, they might fancy the chances in extra time. Well, they probably would fancy the chances, to be honest. Frenkie de Jong. Nice little turn. Pedro just works himself some space. Rafinha. It's again de Jong in support. Back that one goes. Eric Garcia to Gerard. First touch for the substitute. Looks for the overlap. Gerard Martin pulls it back. Nobody there. Barcelona recover the ball. Back it goes to Koundé. Lewandowski hasn't really got a lot of options there. He's surrounded by 3 or 4 defenders. Barca might, that just gives Barca the little option, extra man though free. If they want to try and just keep possession, which is what they're doing quite intelligently now, just moving it around. Here it is with Koundé again. Really don't want to give the ball away and be caught on the break. Back it goes. And they've killed a minute and a half with this last possession almost. Frustrating for the Atletico fans, probably frustrating for the players as well. Koundé gets caught from Galan. Referee's given the advantage. Rafinha, still Rafinha. Balde. Gerard Martin, that's not a great ball. But Barca recover possession, and there goes another few precious seconds out to Koundé. Quite what the doctor called for there from Koundé. There, Araujo says, basically, you're not playing the ball out of there. Julian Alvarez free kick. But Atletico finally have that ball back as we approach the last minute of normal time. That goes long. Goes through the Chesney. You can't see it. After that ball was hit long, Jimenez went down on his knees at the edge of the Atletico area in frustration. Pedri, so when Pedri gets involved, it just gives Barca that extra control, as it does with Frenkie de Jong. There's de Jong. Oh dear, not good from Balde. Again, gifts that ball back to Atletico. See how long the fourth referee is bringing out that board to tell us how much extra time or injury time we're going to have. Should be at least 5 minutes, if not more. I say every meeting between these two sides this season has seen an injury time goal. Four minutes. Well, I thought 3 minutes in the first half wasn't enough, and I'm pretty sure that 4 at the end of this second half is a bit, well, it's not on the generous side. Still time, though. It's Barrios. To De Paul. Molina. And that loops over the crossbar. Emilio Martinez gone down. Has he got a little muscle problem? This looks as if he might have tweaked his glutes. Has had a few injury muscle problems in the last couple of years, Inigo. Minute gone of those 4 of injury time, and Barca have the ball back with Rafinha. He's going to try and just put the game to sleep again, aren't they? Valde turns, and well, Molina does well, keeps the ball in play. In quickly there, Gerard Martin. And there's 2 balls on the pitch. Musso sends it long. De Jong gets ahead on it, but it's Atletico's ball. And Galan's in space on the left. It's a good delivery. Sorloth. Riquelme. Still Riquelme. Barrios plays it out to Galan. Loops up Araujo. And away it goes. And if Lewandowski can get a touch on that, which he couldn't quite get enough, Rafinha would have been away, but he isn't. So it's Atletico again. Galan. It's again, that's a great block from Koundé. This is almost unbearable tension here. Atletico hammering against the Barcelona defense. Can't find a way through yet. Free kick. Riquelme hauled down off the ball. And another yellow card. De Paul is going to step up by the looks of it. This is a really, really dangerous free kick. So Rodrigo De Paul, he's got options to go for goal. He's got options to look to cross. Musso goes forward as well. It's all or nothing. He wants the wall back behind that white line. There's options here for Atletico. It's curled in. Flicked away, but it's only as far as Galan. Musso stayed forward. Doesn't really matter if you lose 2-0, do you? Does it? Araujo! Well, that was just chaos at the last moment. How did Barcelona leave 3 players unmarked? And Musso can stay forward. This is it. It's all on this corner for Atletico. Szczesny gets a hand on it. That's sent long. And that is the final whistle. Football Club Barcelona have hung on by the skin of their teeth here. And they will play Real Madrid in the Estadio de la Cartuja on April the 26th in Sevilla. Atletico, they might look back on this and think, did they surrender the first half? They sat deep and allowed Barca to come at them. Barca played really well. But when they came out, Atletico, and showed they can play, they really made Barcelona suffer. Should they have done that from the start? Too late to ask that now. Some Atletico fans may wonder it later on, as it is. The goal from Ferran Torres in the 27th minute has put Barca in the final of the Copa del Rey. Atletico, their last cup final appearance was in 2013. It's the second semi-final that they have lost in 2 years. I think, as I said in the Westerns, they died with their boots on, but it's Barcelona who are going to go to Sevilla. Hope you've enjoyed it. Certainly was breathless stuff. I'll say goodbye now. We will have a couple of flash interviews later, but I don't know how many of you will be around to listen to those. Meanwhile, leave you with the celebrations of Barca. They're going down to Sevilla. Atletico, well, their season's really over in many ways, except they'll have to wait for June and the Club World Cup. Until the next time, good night.
Eso es, Juan Carlos, estamos en directo con Ferran Torres. Lo primero, enhorabuena por la victoria, por la clasificación. ¿Qué valoración haces de un partido donde habéis estado muy bien desde el principio hasta el final?
Partido que era una guerra, que habían jugado una final y hemos hecho todo lo que hemos podido y ha estado en nuestras manos para conseguir la victoria y conseguir ese pasar a la final.
Con un gol tuyo que sigues de dulce, no hay quien te pare.
Sí, esto es a base de constancia, de trabajo, de creérselo y bueno, vendrán momentos también malos, pero hay que disfrutar de estos momentos y aprender de ello y seguir aprendiendo.
En la final, clásico, ¿sois favoritos después de las 2 goleadas contra el Madrid de esta temporada?
No, en la final no hay favoritos. En la final, partido único, hay que darlo todo, pero lo que sí que está seguro es que lo vamos a dar todo y con la afición seguro que lo vamos a conseguir.
Gracias, Ferran, enhorabuena.